8. Installing the monitoring system. 8.1. Installing BSCB monitoring cables. The BSCB monitoring system consists of the PWRD, PWRDB, smog alarm, infrared alarm, temperature humidity sensor and access control switch. Before the delivery of the rack, the PWRD board and the PWRDB board have been installed in the PD Power plug-in box and do not need to be installed on site. The PD Power plug-in box provides one external DB25 connector and 4 RJ45 connectors on its backplane. The label at the DB25 connector is Sensors. The DB25 connector supplies a monitoring signal via the H-MON-009 to the top of the rack and is to be connected externally to the appropriate sensor. H-MON-009 cables. The connector on the H-MON-009 at the PWRBD end is DB25 and the 5 connectors at the sensor end are DB9 interfaces, 4 of which are used for access control alarm, infrared alarm, temperature humidity alarm, smog alarm, respectively, and one that is reserved for future use. Simply plug the sensors into the corresponding connectors on site as required. For cabinet installation, configure all sensors as required. Disable any monitoring that is not used via ZTE product software configuration. Access control sensor. The access control sensor can monitor a maximum of 5 equipment room doors. The number of monitor doors can be configured as required. End A of the access control sensor cable is connected to end B1 of the external monitoring cable at the PWRDB, and the corresponding door status switch is installed at the end B. Infrared sensor. The infrared sensor should be installed at the upper corner of the equipment room wall so that it can sense persons entering the equipment area from both the window and the door. The infrared sensor has a wall-mounted design. One end of the sensor cable is a DB9 connector, which is connected to end B2 of the external monitoring cable at the PWRDB, and the other end is an infrared sensor. Temperature humidity sensors. Temperature humidity sensors are wall-mounted. Drill 2 holes of 6 units in diameter at appropriate positions on the equipment room wall. Insert the plastic anchors, secure them with self-tapping screws, and mount the sensor using the holes provided. Both ends of the sensor cable are DB9 connectors. The DB9 male connector at the end A is connected to the B3 of the PWRDB external monitoring cable, and the DB9 female connector at the end B is connected to the sensor. Smog sensor. The smog sensor should be ceiling mounted as close to the top of the rack as possible. The smog sensor comes with a sensor cable. Connect the DB9 connector at end A to end B4 on the PWRDB external monitoring cable H-MON-009. Alarm box. The alarm box generally should be installed at an indoor position where the alarm indicator or sound can be easily seen and heard. It is 1.5 to 2 meters high and easy to operate. First, secure the mounting board for the alarm box in an appropriate position on the wall, 1.8 meters above the floor, with 3 M3x12 wood screws, and then hang the alarm box on the mounting board. The alarm box must be installed securely. Clear labels are required when there are several alarm boxes installed side by side. The alarm box control cables are normal twisted pairs. The connectors are RJ45 with the same line order at both ends. That means it is a straight-through network cable. One end is inserted in the RJ45 port on the alarm box, and the other end is connected to the background OMS server via the same hub. 8.2. Installing BTSB monitoring cable. End A of the BTSB external monitoring cable is connected to the outmon socket for the BIM4 interface board at the BDS cabinet and connected to the outmon D-sub-44 socket at the top of the RFS cabinet if the BDS is not available. B1 to B3 and B5 to 6 are transferred to the installation board on the feeder rack. And B1 has 10 pairs of Boolean value inputs, which can be reserved for monitoring the power supply and other equipment. And B2 is 5 pairs of control inputs, which can be reserved for controlling the power supply and other equipment. And B3 is connected to the temperature-humidity sensor cable. And B4 is connected to the access control sensor for the equipment room. And B5 is connected to the infrared sensor cable. And B6 is connected to the smog sensor cable. Sensors can be installed in the same manner as the BSCB sensors.